bathtub. Not so dignified. This recipe, which comes from the ancient Roman cookbook Apicius, is a sweet and sour beef dish, and it may have been the type of preparation that did him in, minus the poison. But the real question is, why did his mistress try to kill him? Well, it's because Commodus was a bloodthirsty, tyrannical megalomaniac, at least according to the ancient sources. For him, everything was all about Commodus. He slapped his name on buildings and institutions, and even changed the name of Rome itself to Colonia Commodiana, or the colony of Commodus. He just had to be in the spotlight, so he decided to become a gladiator, strutting around the Colosseum, even though he knew that nobody would actually dare meet him. And when anyone even said anything negative about him, he would have them put to death, at least according to the senator Cassius Dio, who, to be fair, was not a fan. He wrote that one time when Commodus killed an ostrich in the Colosseum, he held up the head and made a sign to Cassius and the other senators, insinuating that they would be next, an unstable fellow to say the least. But his actual end came after an argument with his mistress and top advisors. He decided to put their name at the top of his to-kill list, and so they decided to put his name at the top of theirs, hence the poison to beef. And when that just made him sick, they had an athlete go in and finish the job. Now, I didn't use any poison in the beef that I made. It's mostly honey, dates, and garum, or the fermented fish sauce of ancient Rome, and it is absolutely delicious. It actually may be one of the best Roman dishes that I have ever made. For more ancient Roman cuisine, follow me on YouTube, and I will put this recipe on tastinghistory.com. This is the last meal of the Roman Emperor Commodus. Now, that's the emperor from the movie Gladiator. But while in the movie they show him dying in gladiatorial combat, he actually died from eating beef poisoned by his mistress and then being choked out in the bathtub. Not so dignified. This recipe, which comes from the ancient Roman cookbook Apicius, is a sweet and sour beef dish, and it may have been the type of preparation that did him in, minus the poison. But the real question is, why did his mistress try to kill him? Well, it's because Commodus was a bloodthirsty, tyrannical megalomaniac, at least
Today, I'm in the mood for a very controversial drink. So I'm gonna make some lemonade. Lemonade. Got it. Wash your fruit, okay? Don't be nasty. Description.
They risked their butts finishing me. It's finishing. Which matters more for muscle growth? The positive, where you lift the weight up, or the negative, where you lower the weight back down? For years, most lifters assumed that the negative was most important because that's when the muscle is lengthening. And you've probably heard most science-based lifters say that it's really important to control the negative. But what does the latest science say about negatives and muscle growth? Well, a brand new meta-analysis of 26 studies and over 600 subjects compared muscle growth from emphasizing the positive versus the negative. They found that with the upper body, there was a small but significant advantage showing more muscle growth when you emphasize the negative. But for the lower body, both the positive and the negative led to similar growth. You should control the negative, but the idea that the negative is drastically more hypertrophic than the positive isn't really supported by the latest evidence. It matters more for muscle growth. The positive...
A simple mixture of bread, water, sugar, and raisins can give you one of the oldest and most popular Slavic beverages in the world. Welcome back to Drinks History. Well,
I can't believe there are people still afraid to play as a woman in a video game. Everybody knows this isn't true. Like, why are you even talking like this? Why would you even say this? It's just so stupid. I replied, I said, intentional misunderstanding. No one is afraid to play as a girl. You know this. Why would you even say that? I think this is the perfect meme for the God of War situation. Blue is an awesome game. I wish they made a movie out of it. Or in this case, a sequel. Coming out soon. Blue, the movie. Big Screen Pictures presents Blue. I think that's exactly what's happened. This is exactly what it's been. The thing is, if they had Tomb Raider and it wasn't Lara Croft, I think people would think it was weird. God of War is centered around Kratos. It's always been centered around Kratos. I really think that if you did a vote for this, like, the players would never vote for this decision. And I understand, sometimes, if I gave the people what they want, they'd ask for faster horses. I get it, I understand. But sometimes the people know what they want, and they know what they don't want. I can't believe there are people still afraid to play as a woman in a video game. Everybody knows this isn't true. Like, why are you even talking like this? Why would you even say this? It's just so stupid. I replied, I said, intentional misunderstanding. No one is afraid to play as a girl. You know this. Why would you even say that?
Possibly comprehend what it must be like to be a slumbering dread, only to be awoken to find your legion at war with the Imperium of Man. The world-eater dreadnought war could, as seek the dread, could show. Yes, Lord.
Need you to defend the ship.
The Tara ordered the rogue priestlings to upload a tactical feed of the Ultramarines boarding on locations. He turned and looked down at Captain Saren's tiny figure.
The Ultramarines. The 13th Legion Astartes.
They boarded us. Or cracked down, bringing his cranial input/output node almost level with her face. A giant kneeling to address a child. Fight underneath Harry's? Of course we did. He fought the walls, hadn't he? Sent them yelping back to their gunships after they came howling without nails. As long as he lived within this potent, cold coffin, he could never forget how Ross fighting in the amber light of that alien sunset. The battlefield reeked of their godly blood. Because that's when she turned to a nearby priest and ordered a further uploading of data. They weren't at war with the Ultramarines. They were at war with half of the Imperium. They were openly at war with the Emperor now, and they had been for over a year. Who could possibly comprehend what it must be like to be a slumbering dreadnought, only to be awoken to find your legion at war with the Imperium of Man? The World-Eater Dreadnought Norfolk, as seen in the trailer. Look, we need you to defend the ship. Matara ordered the rogue priestlings to upload a tactical feed of the Ultramarines' boarding pod locations. He turned and looked down at Captain Sarin's.
Yeah? Yeah, that's the...
It works perfectly.
Everything is free, and it only took 200 million starving to get here.
That's less than half as many as we thought.
There has been another terrorist attack with 33 dead. The American government has decided not to do anything about it.
It sure is great that abortion is now free and available for everyone everywhere. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But it's too bad that there aren't.
Circle around to the west. The necessity of motion.
Wow!
I can see that crash. I can see that you're very much on the thing. But I can see that you're very much on the face. I'm slick, but sometimes it's better.
You had eggs.
It's like they think that
Yeah, good.
green egg is not maker. Wow, but it's plain flour, separate the flour, big flour. So
In my opinion, is the next upcoming class. I think
what
the
those?
middle class will consider
I will take care of the job.
we consider all chat for those 2 years. You're being personal.
We only have four carrier. It's been taking on.
We have Leandros in the game. I don't give a shit that it's Leandros. It's a chaplain. Chaplain kicking some serious ass. Chaplain. And that's what full stacks for. If you don't like Leandros, you can just switch to the full stack and then you do it. Right? There's also pretty and role that Titus is using in the campaign, which is very chaplain. So, self-healing and healing each other characters already. That body character will be just too much. And if actually you're gonna give them CD, 18 total walls. Once you're a full level, that isn't going to be that bad for how I'm going to be used. So, yeah, I mean, Terminator, there's no way all day we're getting a primary Terminator in here, and it's just too overpowered. Let's not go for the most logical decision here would be challenge. I go for challenge. Challenge. What?
Same, bro.
Introducing pig parking spots. It's parking spots for 1 hour.
Why is it bigger?
Here you go. These spaces will be 40% wider than normal spots to prevent parking accidents. And don't worry, we didn't forget about another group facing the road. Introducing.
Doesn't that satisfy you? Your own amusement every time there's a doesn't that amuse and satisfy you as this little tiny fragile insignificant beings? Artist, brother. Doesn't that always amuse? No, that doesn't that amuse? Don't you smell that, brother? Doesn't that always satisfy every time their blood curdles?